All right. Yes, we shall. Welcome to another session of Create Your New Life. We do them every Tuesday around the 12:30 hour, where we come together as a real estate firm and we just talk about what's going on, right? So we're talking about what kind of production the company's doing. We talk about what's going on in the industry, and we always have a topic. So welcome. Definitely want to welcome you in today. So I am your host, Michael G. Davis with Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, CEO, broker, and we're here today to get this thing going on again. So it looks like we do have some people logged on, so we want to welcome you if you've logged on or if you're just checking us out on the live broadcast. All right, so for those that are visiting us for the first time, we're glad that you checked in with us today. Again, we go for about an hour, so just jump in real quick, and then you can jump back out. And then we're moving on to the next thing. We are, looking for talented individuals to bring on board. So if you are with us with Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, that's great. If you're not with us, we're one of our agent members or one of our affiliates, but you want to sit and talk with, you like what you hear from me today, and you want to sit and talk further, I got this number right here behind us that you can call on that number. And I would love to sit down with you. My co-founder, Larry W. Brooks, he would love to sit down with you and talk to you about how we can help you move forward with your real estate career. Again, at any point, for those that are logged on and those that come on later or throughout the show, they can engage with me. Just got to unmute yourself and you can talk directly with me. Or I have the group chat up. So on your Hangout, if you have your group chat, you can see what's going on from that standpoint as well. So today we're continuing our series as far as with buyers. So we're talking about ways to help your buyer client make the right decisions when it comes to buying a home. So that's what we're going to jump into today. We're going to be looking at skill sets 5 and 6 in our Success in Real Estate machine. Again, if this is your first time logging on and you're not familiar with what that is, well, all of our Brooks and Davis agents get an online software that's based on our Realty Success Funnel. And those are the two skill sets that this area of working with buyers is going to deal with today. So that's what we're going to be doing. How to help your buyer client make the right decision on a home. That's what we're going to be talking about. All right. So now the quote that I connected to today's session has to do with everything you want. And then that's where I stopped it, right? Because what about everything you want? Like, what is special or what is important about everything you want? Well, you know what's important about everything you want? The fact that it's right outside your comfort zone. See, that's kind of what's wrong with us, right? We want to be comfortable, but we also want to have great achievement. Well, guess what? For you to get great achievement, it's going to require you to be in uncomfortable situations. Now, we don't want to hear that. You guys are like, la, 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 la. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that, Mike. But guess what? If you're going to be successful, especially in this thing that we call real estate, you're going to be successful. It is going to require you to get outside of your comfort zone. Trust me. I mean, listen, when we started this Create Your New Life sessions about 3 years ago. Right now, we're north of 100 episodes. When we started that thing, I had never done this before. I had never done video broadcasts or things like that. I had to get familiar with a number of things when it came to YouTube, when it came to how to present yourself online with videos. So listen, but guess what? 3 years in, there's a level of growth that's taking place, and you can tell, like you can look at the first couple of Create Your New Lives that we had up into the ones that we're doing now. There's a lot of things that we had to learn over that time frame, and there were a lot of times that we were in very uncomfortable situations. So guess what? Everything that you want, it is right outside your comfort zone. Now, that is from Robert Allen. I tried to do a little bit of research to determine who he was. I like to do a little background when we're throwing these quotes at you, but I couldn't really find out any information about who he was. So that's what I have for you. But again, it's been credited to him. Everything that you want is right outside your comfort zone. Awesome quote for today. All right. So, you know what? I always forget to do this. So now one of the things that separates us from a lot of brokerage firms with some of the things that we offer is that we're able to give CE credit for the things that we do. One of those things is our Create Your New Life session. Now, I don't think that our agents take advantage of it like they should, but just know it is there for you. I always like to start the show off with just giving you guys an idea of what it requires to capitalize on that 1 hour of CE credit. It's real simple. All you have to do is be logged in at the time the session begins. You must show me your identification. And we do that before going on live with the broadcast. So your information, your personal information is not being blasted all over the World Wide Web. The instructor, has to be able to see your face the entire time. And then you must stay online the entire time. 4 easy bullets. And then guess what? If you do those 4 simple things, then you will get you an hour of CE credit. It's that simple. So I always like to start with showing that off as we begin. All right. So also what we like to do is we like to do our moment in core. So we like to spend some time really looking at our core ideology, doing that on a consistent basis. You're going to be a part of this green team behind us. I like that. This green team. We're the green team. You're going to be a part of this green team that I got behind us, Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm. And you have to understand that there's some core ideology, there's some core makeup, which defines us. And the one that we're going to look at today has to do with attitude. Attitude, constant positive attitude. It is very important. It is very key that as you're doing this business, you're doing real estate, that you have to maintain your attitude, and it has to constantly be positive. Guess what? You're going to be getting things thrown at you from different directions, from multiple places. And those things that you're going to get thrown at you is going to want to take your attitude. It's going to want to take the positivity away from you. You can't let that happen, because I guarantee you, success is wrapped up in the level or your ability to maintain positive in all circumstances. Take my word for it, whether that's from my experience in real estate or whether that's from my experience in life. Maintaining your level of positivity in how you do whatever you do is detrimental to your level of success in this business. I guarantee you. So with understanding our core ideology of who we are as Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm, one of our 5 values has to deal with constant positive attitude. Take hold of that. Just allow yourself to rest in that, and watch out. Watch how this thing's going to turn over for you. Trust me in this thing. I've seen it. I've seen it from multiple directions. Seen it. All right, so now let's jump into where we are from a production standpoint. So now we're going to look at production. We're going to look at some people that joined the firm. We're going to look at our top 5 producing agents, but we're also, I'm excited, we finished the first quarter. So at least 4 times a year, we're going to do this during the Create Your New Life. We are going to send out the quarterly standings for production. So our quarter, now I went ahead and took some stuff from April 9th. So up until April 9th is where we're measuring where everybody is. This is our quarterly snapshot. So we're going to be doing that as well. All right, now, but before we do that, let's get an idea of how we're looking weekly as far as our production. So as of today on our pending board, we're a little less than 3 million. That's down. We were over 3 million last week. So we had some things close and we didn't have enough come to the board. So we have, guess what? We got another 7 days to push that thing up. All right. But again, we started it off at like 1.5. So we've doubled it, over the last 2 months. So that's something to really hang our hat on. But we don't want to get complacent with it. We want to keep pushing that thing up. So 2.9 million is where we are as far as the production that is on the board. Now, the person that did bring some production, where we had some, Kalima McClure, she had a transaction closed, so congratulate her, right? She got a check. Cha-ching, baby. And then we also want to congratulate Kim Stubblefield because she's the one that added something to the board, putting herself in a position to where she going to be cha-ching in here pretty soon. So congratulations, Kim. Now, we also want to welcome some affiliates. We had a Miss Virginia Walker and Tempest LaFontaine. I know I may have butchered it a little bit. Hopefully Tempest is not looking at it. But Tempest LaFontaine, we definitely want to welcome you young ladies to our family, our organization here at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm. And again, the affiliate program, for you all that are not aware, if you are in the process of getting your real estate license, right? You've enrolled in at least one class. And we have people in our affiliate program that are in multiple stages, right? Some are at the beginning, they enrolled in their first class. Some have taken all of their class and they're just waiting to pass the test. Wherever you are in that spectrum, we have a program that allows you access to the practical aspects of what you're going to be doing when it comes to real estate. It takes you from the theoretical things that you're learning in class, the law, the fiduciary responsibility, the morals, and then it exposes you, in addition to that, it exposes you to what your day-to-day operations and your day-to-day practices are going to be. So that's what our affiliate program is. It doesn't cost you anything. We have it laid out. If you want more information about it, you can go to our career page at bit.ly/BDREF offers. No, that's not right. bit.ly/Y BDREF. That's our career page. So that's bit.ly/lowercase WHY uppercase BDREF if you want to know more about our affiliate program. So there we have it. All right. So now, who made some noise this week? What kind of movement did we have in our production as far as our agents? So we just had some slight movement, right? Our ladies are still the ones that are holding it down, right? So where my fellas at? My fellas, they're right on the cusp. They need to come on with it. But Chica is still holding that #1 spot as of this week as far as her production. So congratulations, Chica. And coming in right behind her is Margaret. And we have Brina LaQuana, my favorite agent, and Miss Sydney Ely. So congratulations, ladies, for holding it down, being the top 5 producing agents for the week of April 9th. Let's see if they're able to maintain their position going towards the week of April 16th. We shall see. We remain to see if it shakes loose. All right. So now, again, what we do every week is that we look at the top 5 producing. Top 5 producing, meaning the people that have items in pipeline, right? Stuff in escrow, executed contracts signed by buyer and seller, working through the pipeline to get to the closing table. Well, just like Kalima was on this list last week, when she closes that deal, that production is removed, and if she doesn't replace it, then guess what? She falls off the list for that week until she puts something else in the pipeline. So those 4 young ladies that we just celebrated have the most amount of production currently in the pipeline that they're pushing towards the closing table. So we look at that every week. Now, when it comes to production, agent production, once a quarter, we're going to check those numbers out. So now this is that stuff that's already closed. And who's closed the most transactions? We look at sales and we look at rentals. Who's done the most in the first quarter of 2019? So that's what we're going to check out now. And let's see who's made some noise. All right. So now we don't just look at the top 5. We look at everybody. So here's the rankings. The rankings of our agent production Q1 2019. And look, Margaret Harrison, she's on the top of sales and rentals. Now, look, we put the corporate team in there as well. So the corporate team ain't even number one. We're not number one in sales. We're number 3 in sales, and we're number 4 in rentals. Oh, shame on us. We got to work a little harder. But, you know, congratulations, Margaret Harrison, to being the number 1 agent in production for quarter 1 in sales and in rentals, right? But then we have Tracina Morris, who was our rookie of the year. She's number 2 in sales. Jessica Joseph, she's number 2 in rentals. Then the corporate team gets in number 3. But then we have Jessica Joseph. She's number 4. So, you know, anything in the top 3 or 4, I mean, that means that you're doing you're making some noise in the first quarter. If you maintain that momentum, you keep that momentum going, then it really positions you for success. So this is where we are right now. If you're looking at it, if you don't like where your ranking is, then let's do something about it. Guess what? You got 90 days to do something about it before we look at our quarter 2 numbers. See if you can adjust your ranking over these next 90 days when it comes to Brooks and Davis Real Estate. So congratulations again to Margaret for being the number 1 agent in production for quarter 1 in sales and in rentals. Congratulations, Margaret. All righty. Now something does tell me that it is going to be different come quarter 2 based on what I'm seeing on the board, that those numbers are going to adjust. But we shall see. We shall see. All right. Now let's jump into our new listing showcase. We have a beauty out in Pinehurst, Texas. You've never been in Pinehurst, Texas, then this is the time for you to go take a look at it. We have a phenomenal property sitting on almost half an acre of land. The great thing about it is that this one does have a property link. So I'm going to be able to show you guys the property link for this particular one as well. All right. So let's check it out. The property address is 510 West Rollingwood Drive Street. It's in Pinehurst, Texas, 77362. We're only asking $219,000, a little over $219,000 for this particular property. Let's go ahead and jump into the link. I can show you guys my link. Boom, there we go. All right, so I know you all are familiar with our property links. So on here, on our property links, you can see the pictures. Make it a little wide. Boom, there we go. You see some pictures, some additional pictures of our property at 510 West Rollingwood Street. I think where this house really stands out, though, is the vicinity of the schools. All of the schools are either A or B rated. And of all the properties that we have, that's a rarity where you get all 3 levels of the schools to be A or B. This particular property, the elementary and the high school are A, and the middle school are B. They're all 5-star ratings on this particular house. And our client bought it, remodeled it, fixed it up, and you can really take a look at the amenities and the things that were poured into the property. It has lots of light windows, so you get that natural light that pours into it. It has a carport in addition to a 2-car garage, so it has enough space to place whatever you want to place on it. In our property here at 510. Another highlight for this property is that it qualifies for the USDA 0% down payment, right? So you can actually purchase this home and get 100% financing through the USDA Rural Development. It qualifies for that. And it qualifies for the right to purchase. So, man, this one right here, look, you can get access, or you can be extremely creative on how you acquire it, right? So again, it's a great property. On the link, let's see, on our link, it has a video. You can showing me touring the video, touring the outside, touring the inside. You get to see all of the trees. It's just an ocean of trees that are there. Again, it gives you a write-up, gives you a little flyer about it, talks about the lease to purchase program that want more information since it qualifies for both of those. And then it just gives you, some general information, right? MLS area, subdivision, geo market. So it's obviously close to town ball. You got your room dimensions, half baths, 2-story. So just your general information about the property, right? So again, we're only asking $219,974 for this particular one. It's out in Pinehurst, Texas, which is not far from Tomball, close to schools. Like I said, A-rated schools. And if you love peace and quiet, if you want peace and quiet, want to get away from the city, this is the ideal property for you. Our property here at 510 West Rollingwood Street, Pinehurst. Again, that's the link that you can go to that I just showed you. There's the MLS number. That's the price. Let's sell it for me. Come on, guys. Help me sell our property today. Help me sell it. All right. So there we go. All righty. So now we're going to look at some proprietary programming today. Guess what I added to our mural? Our mural of programs, proprietary stuff. I added some stuff that hadn't been on some of the previous ones and I bet you guys are like, man, that is massive. What is all of that? Well, that is everything that we offer and then some. We pride ourselves in being innovative. We pride ourselves in offering the most amount of value as a brokerage firm. That's why I am unapologetic about saying that we don't negotiate on commission split. We are not the cheapest organization or brokerage firm in town. We're not trying to be. What we're trying to be is the most valuable, the one that has the most stuff out here like this. This is what we're trying to be, a brokerage firm that shows all of this, okay? So now what we do every week is that we point out or we highlight one of the things that we offer that we utilize to be our differentiator. And guess what? As our agents, or whether you're with us or you're not one of our agents, or you're an affiliate, you're about to get into real estate, being differentiating yourself from everybody else is key. If you are not focusing on daily differentiating yourself from the other 37,000 licensed professionals that's in this marketplace, then you are doing yourself a disservice. Every day you need to be thinking of what makes you different as a professional. And guess what? We're being an example of what we preach because that's what we do every day. What makes us what differentiates us from other brokerage firms? That's what we look for every day. Okay, so the thing that we're going to talk about today is the SAM number and the SAM card. SAM, all of our agents get what's called a SAM number. SAM number stands for Special Agent Membership Card. It's your special agent number. Our agents are special. They're special agents, right? Well, we know that there's a lot of things that you could be trying to think of when you're in real estate, a lot of moving pieces. So we want to make it easy for you to not have to try to have a bunch of stuff in your brain, right? And now the reason that our agents have to get SAM numbers is because depending on if you're a commission split agent or you're on the 100% plan, there are certain benefits that you don't qualify for if you're on the 100% plan. Well, the way that we determine is through the SAM number that you have. So that's why everybody gets a special agent member number, because there's certain things like the hotline that our our agents on the 100% plan aren't able to access, right? But there are, lots of things that our 100% agents are able to do. All right. Well, everybody gets a card, and on that special agent membership card, we designed it to where you could fit it in your wallet, right? We want to make, the things, I could show you the mural of stuff that we offer, but for you, for us to get you all to take advantage of it, we have to make it easy for you to do it, right? So that's what the concept of the card was all about. All right. So you'll have your agent SAM number on there, right? We have your plan on there. So whether you're 100%, whether you're a commission split, you'll never have to guess, right? Which plan you're on. Okay, now if you are on a 100% plan, you don't get access to this, right? Unfortunately. So that's another one of those things that you don't get access to. But if you're on a commission split plan, you get access to our Success in Real Estate Machine software, which we're going to be looking at again later, which we've been using from a training standpoint. You'll also have your user and your password always easily connected to you as you move forward in utilizing the software, right? So you'll have that ready to go. Also, we have our online store where our agents get discounts. Now, I think last week we talked about the online store, Shop BDREF, and here's the website. So if you want to buy some paraphernalia for your clients, if you want to buy some for yourself as a gift, however, the card is there to make it easily accessible, the different things that you have access to. Now, the reason there's a difference between a 20 or 30% discount is because our commission split agents get a greater discount than our 100% agents. Now, again, everybody gets a discount, but depending on whether you're commission split or whether you're 100%, it dictates the amount of discount that we're able to offer to you. All right. Now, the hotline, again, if you're 100%, you don't get access to the hotline. But if you're a commission, then here's the hotline number. You don't have to guess. Matter of fact, if you got a text from today concerning the success in the Create Your New Life session, we're sending out our text messages. We're utilizing our hotline number. So if you ever need to make a call to the hotline, you have it here on your card. You also may have it in your phone from a text message that we sent from it, right? So our special agent membership card, again, was designed to make everything accessible to you. So you're not trying to find or figure things out or move things around. That was the point of our our special agent membership card. And one of the benefits, one of the many benefits that you receive by being a part of this green family back here, this green, our green company, that's one of the benefits that you gain access to by being affiliated or associated with our organization. And we thank you for that, for those that are part of Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. All right, we have some upcoming items, some upcoming things coming up. We have our career fair, not career fair. It's a career. So it's our career night. All right. So next Thursday, we're going to be doing our career night. We do them maybe once every 2 months, where we bring, if a person's, again, different stages, whether you are just getting your license, whether you just signed up for your first class, whether you're considering signing up for your first class. This is an opportunity where I can answer any questions. They're going to be with me. Any questions about working in the real estate industry, questions about where you want to be, your path, right? It's a very informative opportunity to spend some time with me, a 15-year veteran in this business. I got over 1,000 transactions under my belt. Spend some time with me, and I'm an open book, right? So you rarely find that combination of years experience when it comes to production, and willingness to offer and to help and to coach and to teach. So you rarely get that combination. Well, you get it with us. You get it with me. So next Thursday at 6:30 we're going to be here at the office. Reserve your spot by going to this RSVP link and let us know that you're coming. We already have a couple of RSVPs, so don't waste time. Go ahead and come on and take advantage of it. So we have that coming up on next Thursday. All right, so now we're going to spend the rest of our time going through our training today, continuing our training for our series of working with buyers. All right. So now what I need to do is that I need to log into our software. Let's see. Show y'all my screen. Boom. Boom. We're getting there. We gonna get there. All right. So I'm gonna go to the site anyway. I need to log in. Boom. I want to do that so we can get some more space. That's not letting me log in. What are you doing? There we go. I don't know why I was taking so long. I'm like, let me in. Let me in, Success in RA Machine. Let me in. All right. Boom. So here we go. Now, again, we're going to be looking at skill sets 5 and 6. But guess what? Everything starts with this bad boy. Boom. There's a better look at it. Our success in our real to success funnel. Everything begins and ends with our real to success funnel. So if we're looking at skill sets 5 and 6, today we're going to be looking at getting the client under contract and then getting the contract closed. And we're going to talk about those specific things that work towards making that happen. I'm going to find my thing. All right. Anyway, so yeah, so we're going to be looking at getting the client under contract as well as getting the contract closed. So that's skill set 5 and 6. And then look where it is in relationship to the funnel, right? One of the things about this funnel is the green represents activity, the white represents skill. So notice as you move down the funnel, as you get towards those bottom skill sets, it's not really about activity. It's more about how skilled you are. And that's why it's very important that you connect yourself with the right broker so you can rely on their expertise to prevent your deals from busting out. Because if you don't have the right expertise and you get to dealing with skill sets 5, that's why you got these wide gaps for you to fall out the funnel. You need to be able to have somebody else's expertise that you can rely on until you get to the point to where you can utilize your own expertise to get it done. So it's very important and very key that you connect yourself with the right organization, with the right brokerage firm to do that. All right, so now let's go ahead and jump into this thing. Now we've already looked at skill set 3, we looked at skill set 4 when working through these things. So I'm just going to jump right into skill set 5. Okay. Now skill set 5. Now skill set 5 is about getting the client under contract as soon as possible, right? And then again, we are going to click on for buyers because that's what we're talking about, buyers. It's coming. All right. Oh, what? Error establishing database connection. What's that about? Let's try that again. Boom. There we go. All right. So now, like we talked about last week, yeah. So like what we talked about last week is it all goes back to the fact that we have a written process. And you can click on that if you want to see the whole thing, it's a couple of pages, but it can be very inundating if you haven't been in real estate for a while. So you want to be careful. And that's why we designed the software the way we designed it, so we can give you bits and pieces of what you're going to be using. Okay. So now, just so I can build a little context for those that have not watched the previous episode. If you have not watched the previous episode, I encourage you. This is a series. You want to go back and look at the previous episode. But I am going to just pinpoint some things that are important in this one as well. All right. Now, we talked about the presentation on last week, and we talked about preparing for the presentation on last week. Why is this thing moving so slow? I don't know. Do you know? Do you know why this thing's moving so slow? I don't know. Can you speed it up, please? We have a show to do, and you're hindering my show. All right, let's jump back into it. It's still thinking, but we'll look at something else. All right, so we have the entire written process, but we want to give you excerpts. All right, so now at this part, we're talking about now when the customer signs the client broker agreement. So in essence, now the customer is saying, I'm hiring you. This person has now gone from a customer to a client. Look, it's still thinking. I don't know what's wrong with it. This person has gone from a customer to a client. Okay. I think I said this last week. You need to stop doing things for customers that you should only be doing for clients. Okay. Well, now this is how a person shows you that they're committed to you by becoming your client because they sign their name on the dotted line. All right, so now it says when the customer signs the client broker agreement, it says see the accompanying items and processes that the transaction coordinator uses, intro for new buyer, transcode process, and the process virtual administrator. Now, where are these processes? Guess what? These processes are right here in this folder. So you can get a look at how we deal with them. This is where both of these processes are. Introduction for new buyer by the virtual office administrator. Intro for new buyer, transaction coordinator. And these two are the same. Right? So that's where those processes are. Again, connected to your Success in RE machine. Now, guess what? We also have 2 videos where I went into detail. I mean, detail on the conversations that you need to be having and how you need to work with when helping buyers pick a house, right? That is a very important part of the process. Why? Because a lot of agents prolong moving, assisting their clients get to what their ultimate goal is, which is to get into a home. And a lot of agents are the problem. So it's very important that you get skilled in this skill set number 5, in guiding and navigating your client to help them make a decision on picking a home. Now, there are some very important resources that you must take advantage of that you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't. Now, I went back to skill set 4 because there were some things that we added that weren't on there last week. This right here are the items of value. They weren't on there last week. But if you look at the list tells you to get a Brian Buffini item of value. So we went ahead and added some examples of items of values to the and see if you click on it, then it'll take you to that particular item of value. All right. So now what we're also going to do is that there's more than 3 of them. We're going to go ahead and get those other ones uploaded as well. So they should be on there by the end of the week. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and make note of that. You can hear me? Yeah. That's why you were calling me. Okay. So I apologize, guys. All right. I wanted to show that. Now, there's a couple of things that you filled out at that meeting that you're gonna need. One of them is this initial buyer consultation checklist. This initial buyer consultation checklist is going to help you be organized. Last week we talked about the top of it, everything above this line. to make sure that you have everything that you need to be successful. Again, you see the item of value, brochure, promotional item. That's what we added. Okay. Now, once they hire you, then we start working with these items under the checklist. You want to make sure that you you want to make sure that the client gets a copy of the documents that they sign. So this helps you make sure that you get those signed documents to the client. You're gonna select yes or no. Then the client's also gonna let you know if they want it emailed, faxed, or made copies in office. So it's good for you to know that as well. Now, one of the forms that we have is this email buyer 3 sheets. And the 3 sheets, just like the presentation, is a way for you to repeat or be redundant in how you are educating the client through this process. Again, if they've never purchased a home before, then the process can be very crazy, right? So what you want to do is you want to help them navigate that, and the best way for you to help them navigate that is through constantly repeating things and in multiple ways. So the presentation is a way to educate. The buyer's 3 sheets is a way to educate, as well as some other areas when for navigating things. So here's the checklist, right? You want to create your buyer folder, right? If you have a buyer board, you want to put that on your buyer board, send the copies. If you have, you must have databases, right? So, I talk CRM database is very important that you have one. Well, it's also very important that you're adding clients to your different databases. One thing that we do is we send a link to a video that shows them the documents that they're going to be signing. We may do a welcome phone call because, again, there's a team concept, and then we're going to send them a thank you card. So these are all the things that we do. This is a part of our onboarding process. And then when you look at those processes that we refer you to, you'll see this being a part of our onboarding process. Now, guess what? Once the pre-approval letter is received, then we have a date. That's when we go look at properties. So at this stage of the game, skill set 5, it's all about getting your client to look at properties, help them pick a home so you can go under contract. That's what this part of the process is all about. Okay. All righty. So when we go back here, now you can start seeing some of the things that I talked about, right? So here's the 3 sheets. And again, like I said, it's an educational piece that you can email to them. 50 things you should absolutely not do as a buyer. Don't quit your jobs. Number 1, right? Don't change your job. Don't get a promotion. Don't do these things because it messes up the lending process. So it gives them 50 things they shouldn't do. Frequently asked questions. How long does the buying process take? How many properties does the buyer typically look at? So it just answers questions that buyers have that we may take for granted when it comes to buying a home, especially, like I said, if they haven't bought a home before. And then, this will most likely happen. That's why we call it 3 sheets, because you got A, B, and C. All right. You will not be told how much money to bring to closing until the day of your closing, and many times only hours or minutes. Be ready for that. Dates on your contract will change, perhaps multiple times. Be ready. You will become anxious or nervous, right? So guess what? If you're telling the client these things up front, when it happens, it softens the blow. So that's why we do this with the 3 sheets. All right. We also talked about the welcome email. We send a welcome email, and that welcome email, just gives them access to the video. Right. So if they click on that link, looks like I can click on it. Boom. If they click on that link, it takes them to this video, which shows them the forms that they're going to be filling out. Right. Again, you're looking for educational opportunities so they can be comfortable. So now when it's time to do the contract, they're not looking at the forms for the first time. So we send that out. You want to send that out to your clients, your buyer clients, when they sign up. Very important that you do that. All right. You also want to, all right. So now here's I'm not going to talk about these other things. Oh, but there's the video. Look, so if you need the link to the video to send out, you can get it from that email, or here's the link right here. You can right click and copy video URL. Boom, it'll give it to you. All right. So now the last very, very, very important, very, very, very important form is this form right here, the property likes, dislikes, ratings form. Now, again, those videos, the videos that are here, I go into detail, I reiterate kind of what I'm going to quickly discuss real quick. All right. This form is the key to you helping your client make a decision. All right. Well, the way you use this form is that for every property that you go visit, notice how it's three to a sheet. Everywhere it says property address, property address, property address, property address. So you put the property address. No, it's more than three. It's more than three. No, it's three. Okay. So you put the property address. Then you're going to ask the client, what did you like about the property? You're going to list it. You're going to ask the client, what did you not like about the property? You're going to list it. You're going to ask them, what would you pay for this house and why? They're going to give you a number. Then you're going to ask them, how would you rate this house 1 through 10 on fitting your needs? They're going to give you a number. So now, guess what? And again, you can have three properties to a page. So you should never take no more than 2 of these, right? Because you shouldn't be showing anybody more than 5 to 6 properties. You show them more than 5 to 6 properties, you're going to get them tired, and they're not going to be in a position to make a decision. So you don't want to show anybody more than 6 properties. And I say 6 because it's 3 to a sheet. So 6 or less is really where you want to be. Okay. Now, the way it's going to help you though is that number one, they're going to start seeing things that they didn't even know was important to them. You're going to help them visualize items that they didn't even know mattered. Okay. So that's one of the ways that it's going to help. All right. Another way it's going to help is that if they do not find a property that they like, when you take them out to show them property, especially the first time, you will have valid feedback. You will have the feedback needed to where you can redirect your search. You can redirect how you are looking at things. Because guess what? If you take somebody out and they don't like, if you do it right, if you follow the instructions to these 2 videos that's already on here, how it talks about how you do your searches. If you follow those instructions the right way, then when you're taking that client out to look at properties, though you're having them look at the best properties that fit the criteria that they're giving you. Let me say that again. If you do it the way that we coach, then you're taking that client to look at the best candidates for what the criteria is that they gave you. So now, if they don't like the properties that you've shown them and they don't want to submit an offer, then it's fool's gold for you to just say, all right, I'm going to just go pull up some more properties. If you don't make any adjustments to the criteria, then again, 1 or 2 things happen. 1, you didn't follow the instructions on how we coach and you left skin on the table, number 1. Or number 2, you're not being upfront and honest with the client to let them know this was the best. Anything else that they see, there was something that didn't connect with the criteria that they gave you, right? So they would need to change their criteria. Well, the property likes and dislikes ratings form will help you get the necessary feedback so you can adjust changing your criteria. This form is golden and you got to use it. You got to use this form. Trust me on that. All right. So all of that we just talked about is on the skill set number 5 link in your Success in RE machine. So you are not going to have to go far to get everything that we discussed in the process, everything that we discussed in the videos. You have access to all of the things that we're telling you to utilize and some more things. Okay. So that's skill set number 5. All right. So now once you take them out and you follow our instructions and you get them looking at the houses, and guess what? They find one that they want. It's time to submit the offer, right? You submit that thing. Obviously, there's more when it comes to the skill set, when it comes to negotiating. Make sure that your negotiation is where it needs to be. But say you're successful in all of that, and you get your offer accepted. Well, now that moves you to the transaction management side of things, right? So the transaction management side of things takes you to skill set 6. Skill set 6 has to deal with Getting the contract that you now have closed as smooth and as fast as possible. Getting the contract that you have now closed as smooth and as fast as possible. So now look, you have if you need access to the things that you need to pay your commission, it's right here in skill set number 6. Because guess what? You don't even need to be concerning yourself about a commission disbursement authorization form or anything until you get to this part of the funnel. Until you get down here to where it's time for you to make some money, you don't need to be worrying about commission disbursement forms. So that's where it is in the system. All right, so now we're going to click on for buyers. And as we click on for buyers, then it's going to take us to the page in our success scenario machine where everything is there. So we're going to spend some time today going through it. Not much. We only have like 4 minutes left. But we're going to go through some of it today, finish it up on tomorrow. What's going on? Uh-oh. Internet's tripping. What's happening, Google? Get us back on track. I don't know if you can hear me. Looks like my system is messed up. Mayday, mayday, mayday. Let's see. Let's go here. What's my hotspot? Just bear with me if it's still connected. I can't tell if it's connected or not. I'm trying to see what happened. The whole thing just crashed. Okay, so I don't know what happened, but yeah, I don't know what happened, but Google just went. I don't know, but we're back. All right, so so just fast forward, if you need to, in the middle, towards the end of it. All right, we were looking at skill set 6 briefly, so now it's going to be real brief, really brief. But this is the final stage of getting the contract closed. And there's a lot of transactional things that we're going to talk about next week as far as making sure that that happens, right? So next week, we're going to be taking a look at, let me see if I got all my forms up now. All right, there we go. All right, so next week we are going to, like I said, because we got kicked off the line, we're going to be talking about transactional stuff, the stuff that causes home buyer clients to want to pull their hair out while under contract to purchase a home. And we're going to go through the transactional management side of things on next week, right? And again, all of that is going to entail us being in skill set number 6. So be ready, guys. Be ready for us to kind of close this thing out next week, looking at the transactional side, doing another overview. And then I think we may be able to kind of wrap up, put a bow on our series of working with buyers even when they're difficult. Because guess what? The only reason they're difficult is because of you. If you're the professional, you're not taking the lead, you're not doing what needs to happen, and that's why they're difficult. All right, they need your guidance. So guide them. With that being the case, like I said, we had a little snag in the middle of today's show. I don't know if you guys were still on it. I'm actually kind of curious to go and see if you're all still on it, and then I maybe YouTube may be able to allow me to kind of cut that part out. Boom, and then we can keep this thing moving. So with that being said, you guys have a great week. We're gonna get my music back going so I can bob my head out, and we will see you on the flip side. Let me turn my music up. I like to bang it. Shall we begin? No, we are ending another session, another one in the books. Create Your New Life, Brooks and Davis real estate firm. We're talking about working within our buyer series. We have our career night next Thursday. So if you're available, Come check us out in the career night. Maintain your positive attitude. That's a part of Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. Congratulate those agents that were on the top of the quarter list as well as on the top of the weekly list. Our new affiliates, we want to welcome them. Sell my property at 510 West Rollingwood. Utilize your proprietary programming such as your SAM card, and we shall see you next week.